everyone, welcome back to Solo Leveling Arise, and as you progress through the story mode, guys, you're going to end up fighting a character called Baruka. Now, he's actually in Chapter 11. He's going to be a requirement that you're going to have to do in the game, which is this overwhelming power at level 42. And I actually was able to do this clear with this team right here with these two fire weapons, and fire obviously is what you're going to need against Baruka to do a whole lot more damage. Now, Baruka, just like Igris, has a bunch of break, so you really want to have characters that actually have a good amount of break in their kits. That will help a tremendous amount. You see the support skill for Jinwoo here. This guy actually has medium break, which is very, very nice. And if you take a look at his artifacts, like if we jump in and we take a look at the artifacts, we want these artifacts on, oh boy, which actually increases the break, right? So this is really going to help our break status. And oh girl here, she's actually pretty much a very similar character where she also has a bunch of break in her skills, which helps. She also has medium break as a support skill for Jinwoo. And whenever you equip these artifacts, the solid analysis set, you actually do get that increase of break. Now, I do need to get a 4-piece set, so that way I could actually have this here. That would actually help a lot. So if you have a character that has a support skill that does offer break for Jinwoo, then having this set on them is going to really help. You could even put this set on Jinwoo. If you're using break skills on your Jinwoo, then you could actually put this set on him to increase his damage. But I actually opt for a critical rate and critical damage for my boy. Now this girl here, she is a fire character. Emma is very strong, and because of the set that I'm actually using, we actually increase our attack for the team, or actually for Jinwoo, which really helps. But her support skill does a bunch of damage, and it has break. So like, she is just godly as a support in this thing, especially for Jinwoo. She is just an astronomical character for this thing. And when it comes to Jinwoo, guys, I actually was able to clear this with this stone right here, or this blessing right here. I actually recently just got this one, which increases the boss damage by 12%, but I wasn't using this one in the run that you guys are going to see. I was actually using this one here. I'm sorry, I was actually using this one here, which actually decreases damage received. When you're down to 30% HP, you will take 20% less damage. So it helps in survivability, but in all honesty, guys, having something like this is pretty OP. I actually crafted this and got pretty lucky. I think it's a pretty good blessing stone. However, it does require to use more skill because you're going to lose some of your dodging, which isn't the greatest. But as I've shown you guys in the video against Igris, this skill is OP because it has medium break. If you have the stone, if it was a fire stone, it would be even better. But if with a stone, you're still going to have more of that medium break, which is really good. And the same for the other one that I have on him, which gives him heavy break. Now, heavy break is really where it's at. The fire damage is also really where it's at, my friends. This skill here is actually really good, especially if you have the fire. But if you notice, guys, there's no break on it, which is why I'm not using it. But the advantage of this particular skill for Jinwoo is that it's a really fast skill that you can use for him. It doesn't take a long time to do it. And if we preview the skill, like, you can easily clip that off really quick. It's going to do a bunch of continuous damage, and you can run around. And against a character like Baruka, that's actually really good. Whereas the skill that I'm going to be using, it takes a good amount of time, especially with that last slash. Whereas with this one here, you can actually just throw out your sword, your blades, and just start going at it and getting it done. I do believe that it would be easier with that skill, but because I have break on this particular one, especially heavy break, and I got the fire stone, I went ahead and use this setup because I feel it's actually better. And also, let me go back to Jinwoo here. Also, his weapons, guys. So with his weapons, I'm using these two fire weapons. This weapon, honestly, it's one of those weapons that I don't think is the greatest, but its damage is very good. The thing that sucks about it is it's very slow and sluggish, but it does give him a shield. It does help his survivability, and that can be quite nice, guys. It has a built-in explosion, which does quite a bit of damage. It's actually, damage-wise, it's a decent weapon, but it isn't as practical as, say, another weapon like this guy right here. This thing is insane. Like, this weapon is nuts, but it's darkness, right? But it's Honestly, a powerful, powerful weapon that I actually got through my pulls. And again, this is a free to play account, guys. This weapon here, you actually get through just logging in, which is actually pretty damn cool. But if you're using a fire weapon, that would probably be a really good choice, especially if you have an SSR fire weapon. That is really, really going to help, especially if you have Emma on the team, man. She really is insane, guys. I mean, you can put this old boy on the team also to deal fire damage, but unfortunately he doesn't have any break. He can add some damage, which is nice, but it's to non-boss monsters, which isn't the greatest against Baruka. That kind of sucks. So that's why I'm not using him. I'm actually just going to be using Emma instead. But again, if your support has break, like for example, Kim Jewel here, like he's got medium break on his support for Jin Woo, right? Which is very, very powerful, and he can give a shield to add in survivability. So depending on the characters that you're using, you just want to make sure that they have break or heavy break, especially as his support skill. Make sure Jin Woo's got skills on him that offer a break. And you guys can see that I got 74,000 power. I actually got a lot more power now than what I had before in the run that you guys are going to watch, because I'm actually at level 45 now. But it's recommended 83,000 power, and you can absolutely get it done, guys. You can absolutely destroy this thing, but as long as you're using a bunch of break and fire damage, you ought to be good to go to be able to get this done. You will not need to have the recommended total power. As always, guys, with these runs, it is just a matter of practice and skill. So let's pull up the run for you guys right now, and let's check it out. All right, here we go. Now this guy can actually CC you, he can freeze you, he can actually even one-shot you at one point in this fight. So you gotta be really, really careful with this guy. So he starts off, he slams down, and you see that I got frozen. You wanna make sure that you're out of that AoE whenever he slams down, and then jump in there or dodge at the right time. I didn't quite dodge at the right time, but look at the break meter, guys. It's coming down pretty damn quick. There we go. Right, we'll use that second skill. Oh, yeah. We're about got her. And like I said, the faster you do this, the more damage you're actually going to be able to do. But Jesus, that weapon is so awesome on Jin Woo. I love the hell out of it. But whenever you see Baruka in the blue state, he has super armor. That's when you really want to try to time your dodge and avoid getting hit. And if you're using like this fire weapon that I'm using, where it's real slow and sluggish, you always want to time it. That's the kind of thing about using a weapon like it. You want to time it. Now here, you just run to the left or the right, guys, and you can avoid it. And then he just slams down, and you can just start pouring it on, doing a bunch of damage. Just watch what he does. He does this little maneuver where he starts having a bunch of ice pockets fall down on you. You just run around, try to avoid those the best you can. But yeah, the one skill, like I said, if I'd been using that other skill where he just throws the blades around, I think that would have been a little bit easier in all honesty. But again, I really wanted that break. But as you guys notice, there is no break going on right now. He has no shield, and we're just doing a bunch of damage. And it's times like this, having supports that offer a bunch of damage buffs like Beck and so on really does make a difference. But again, you got to get that thing broke. Now here's where it can be a little bit of a pain. There I got caught. You can actually avoid this, guys, and dodge and get away from it, but I didn't, right? Luckily we had the recovery. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use our ultimate. And, you know, there's other things you can do in this run. You can use other characters that can increase your power gauge to where you can do your ultimate, you know, maybe a little bit more often. And by this point, you're going to have that second ultimate. Once you reach stage 40, you're going to get that second ultimate. And that really does make a difference. Also, leveling up your skills, leveling up your ultimate, leveling up your weapons. All of these things makes a huge, huge difference as far as how much power your character actually has. Because honestly, guys, that's really what it is. This is kind of more or less like a DPS check is really what it is. You guys can see that I am running down to the wire. We're getting really, really close here. We need to get out of there. We don't want to get hit. Okay, boom. And start murdering him. Woo, we're running close, guys. We are running super close, and bam. There it is, my friends. There it is, right? Getting it done. Good old Baruka, absolutely destroyed, which is exactly what we want to see. But I wanted to share this run with you guys to show you that as a free-to-play, you can really, really progress through this game. It's not a huge problem. There might be some days where you're kind of holding off. You got to wait a little bit. Got to level up characters. Got to get gold. Got to get materials to level up your, your hunters and Jin Woo. But the thing is, guys, you will be able to do it as a free-to-play, man. You can do super well in this game. Seriously, I've been doing so good in the game as far as my resources, as far as my pulls. I mean, I've gotten both of these SSR weapons already. I've gotten Beck here, right? I've gotten good old Lim, who's a very underrated, godly character, right? You got this character from a login. Like, honestly, it's pretty sick, guys. I cannot stress enough how free to play the game feels to me, how fun it is, and man, there will be more videos of Solo Leveling Rise in the future. I'm really just trying to unlock more and more and more so I can talk about these game modes, unlock more artifacts so I can talk about more of those things, do a little damage comparisons and things like that. But let me know how you guys are all doing in Solo Leveling Rise, or if you're looking forward to it coming out on May 8th. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. to 2+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.
You're all just trash!
This is what you were bragging about? That all you got?
If I get rid of you, your minions will all disappear too!
Looks like it's over.
I'm not done! Who do you think I am?
Told you. It's over. Time for a counterattack.